changing our world through storytelling. The Gift of a Smile. The documentary on street children aired right after the 7 o'clock news on TV3. Afrakomaa had heard on numerous occasions that some children were homeless. Until she saw on the screen how they lived, she could not be bothered. She listened attentively to the documentary, and after it was over, she moved quickly to her room. She played back the documentary in her mind, and before she realized, her eyes were filled with tears. Auntie Nchiwa, Afrakomaa's mother, noticed a change in her mood. She went to Afrakomaa's room and saw her crying. Auntie Nchiwa sat beside her and wiped her tears. She asked her what the matter was. She replied saying, "Mama, why do these children in the documentary sleep on the streets? Where are their parents? How do they feed?" Her mother hugged her and asked her to stop crying. "Mama, how can we help them? I wish we had enough to be able to lend a helping hand," her mother said. Afrakomaa looked at her mother and said, "Mama, we don't need to have enough to help. I have an idea. I can talk to my friends to give some of their used clothing, at least to begin with. Mama, you are a caterer. You are always busy with orders. Please, is it possible to save at least 50 pesos or a CD per plate to help them? Talk to your friends as well. Please, Mama. We can do something to help them." "I've heard you, Afrakomaa. Promise me you will stop crying," Auntie Nchiwa said to her daughter. Afrakomaa replied, "Mama, please promise me that you will team up with me to help them." "I promise, my dear," Auntie Nchiwa replied as she hugged her daughter. Afrakomaa hardly slept throughout the night. She thought of several ways to help. The next morning, she looked for her clothes that no longer fit and gathered them. She went from house to house, soliciting for old clothes and put them together. She spoke to many of her friends who agreed to help. On Sunday, when Afrakomaa went to church, she told her Sunday school teachers about the documentary and asked them to join her to lend a helping hand. Afrakomaa was a member of the Aseda Children's Choir. Indeed, she had an angelic voice. She suggested to Uncle Seto, the choir master, to consider organizing a musical concert to help the street children. Gradually, Afrakomaa's campaign for the street children became a talk of the town. She got people to wash and iron the clothes and arranged them according to sizes. She formed a club and named it Mofre's Helping Hand. Afrakomaa monitored her mother's orders and had a fair idea of how much her mother's contribution would be. She set a date to send the clothing to the street children. Janwa, her friend, asked if they could cater for all the street children. Afrakomaa said to her, "Let's adopt a particular area. We cannot do all that, but at least others will see and emulate." On one Saturday dawn, she set out with her mother and some of her friends and their parents to Tema Station where she saw some of the children awake and folding their cardboards that they used as beds. She said to herself, "May others be kind enough to help." They interacted with the street children and gave them what they had. They were surprised that people cared for them. They promised to visit again and left. Afrakomaa was happy that she put a smile on their faces. Later in the afternoon, she went for rehearsals for the musical concert and told her friends about the donation at dawn. They were also excited. As they contributed. 6 weeks later, the grand concert took place. The choir sang so well, the guests were all happy and gave their widow's mite to support the street children. The support was indeed massive. The following week, they organized a free health screening for them. Professionals in the medical field turned out in their numbers to help. They gave them some provisions, clothes, and some money. Some members of the congregation decided to adopt some of the street children. Afrakomaa at this point was excited to see them smile. She turned and saw Uncle Adamu giving her a thumbs up and ran to hug him. A motorcyclist from nowhere sped and with a failed brake almost ran into them. One of the street children dived and pushed Afrakomaa away, and he got hit by the motorcyclist. In his pain, he said, "I'd rather you live to put smiles on the faces of the less privileged." My dear friends, do not wait to have enough to lend a helping hand. Share whatever you have. It could be clothes, food, a smile, or even a kind word. Let's take note of the following words. Solicit. Solicit. Spelled S-O-L-I-C-I-T. Solicit. Meaning to ask for or try to obtain something from someone. Congregation. Congregation. Spelled C-O-N-G-R-E-G-A-T-I-O-N, meaning a group of people assembled for a religious worship. Emulate. Emulate. Spelled E-M-U-L-A-T-E, meaning imitate. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and share. Your comments are also appreciated. A story a day, changing our world through storytelling.